Knowledge management is the process of creating, sharing, using, and managing the knowledge and information of an organization. This traditionally occurred through on-the-job discussions, formal and informal apprenticeships, mentoring programs, corporate libraries, and discussion forums. But this was pre-information technology, IT. IT began a knowledge revolution when it came into its maturity in the 1990s. Bytes gave way to kilobytes, kilobytes to megabytes, megabytes to gigabytes and petabytes, and the internet exploded. With it came an unprecedented ability to make connections and share and obtain knowledge. It was around this time that the phrase knowledge management was coined and became a discipline. The Scandinavian professor Carl Erik Svaby is often described as one of the founding fathers of knowledge management, having pioneered many of the fundamental concepts in the field. Why was knowledge management necessary? Well, knowledge management with computers was a different ballgame. It signaled the beginning of an exponential curve in knowledge management. Knowledge systems, knowledge repositories, group decision support systems, knowledge bases, intranets, and computer-supported cooperative work became new methods. But with IT came problems. Paul Eldridge said that in the spider web of facts, many a truth is strangled. That is, a wealth of knowledge could become a haystack of knowledge when you are looking for a needle. Useful knowledge that could affect change could be shrouded with non-useful knowledge. Perhaps we could even say trivia. The question became how to meaningfully organize and action this newfound wealth of information in a timely manner. Knowledge management is the answer to this question. Carl Erik Svaby began suggesting to business leaders that there was a need to think differently. New methods were needed for teams to work together to share their findings. Employers and employees alike needed to realize that intellectual capital is amongst the most valuable of assets, but only as long as these assets are managed and shared amongst the group. To understand knowledge management, we must first look at the actions or activities that are associated with knowledge. They are identifying, acquiring, retaining, creating, and sharing knowledge. First, knowledge exists between the contributors. It is a knowledge that has no knower. Social knowing changes who does the knowing and how, more than it changes the what of the knowledge. It is not necessarily what knowledge is available, but more so where it came from and by whom. Second, to know something is to gather information, decode it, and organize in a reasonable fashion and then retain and reuse it. This process adds to and develops knowledge. External stimuli enters our short-term or working memory through sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch. Through a cognitive process of rearrangement, we learn to use this information which develops and expands our knowledge base. The newly acquired knowledge is then hopefully stored in long-term memory. But it's not that easy. Third, we must retain the information. Managers become frustrated when employees simply forgot. Information that is held in working memory is easily lost when the information is not put into immediate use. Simply, it has not had a chance to become knowledge. Consider listening to a pedestrian's instructions when you're driving and become lost. Within a matter of seconds, you have forgotten the instructions as you drive away, and your attention shifts back to the road. To keep information activated for more than a few seconds, most people must mentally rehearse the information to store them into long-term memory. Fourth, knowledge can then be created. The knowledge can be situated and solidified when it is used in multiple practices and discourses and set alongside and compared with other tools over time. Finally, knowledge is shared. In traditional organizations, knowledge tends to flow along organizational lines from the top down. But that pattern seldom results in making knowledge available in a timely fashion and where it's needed the most. This is contrasted by the bottom-up approach, where subordinate employees, who are often first to discover useful information, are used more intensively to share and distribute information. The ability to look within an organization and recognize and assess how these steps and how to improve them has become a multi-million-dollar economy. Speakers and consultants are labeling themselves as knowledge architects, director of knowledge and networking, or leaders of information articulation. Their task is soliciting good practices, indexing and cataloging new information as it comes in, and serving as an information broker by assisting people to obtain the information they need. They are the lifeguards to teach us to swim, to help us navigate the choppy waves, and stop us from drowning in the sea of information.